Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. I'm here again with another lesson, and I'll start off in the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, and verse 23. In all labor there is a profit, but the talk of the lips tended only to penury. Right? So in all labor there is a profit. You're gonna get a reward, for your labors. And in particularly, I'll be referring to this truth, this gospel that, we have. Right? Once you endure unto the end, of course. Right? So I read it again. In all labor there is a profit, but the talk of the lips tended to penury. And penury means great poverty. Alright? You not having anything. Because remember, the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. But the soul of the slacker desireth, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. As the scriptures say. Right? So what we have to do is we have to be diligent in this truth, in this gospel, And it will have a lot of distractions that will try to hinder you from putting forth that diligence. Now we have to pray and we have to use wisdom in order to fully, be diligent for the Lord. We would have to use wisdom, all right? Because things will be happening and trying to hinder you from doing your videos, And it's not that you don't want to do your video. You might want to do it, but it's just certain things will look to come in your way to hinder you from getting them done, right? So we have to pray and ask the Lord to have mercy on us, that we could serve Him, right? Because we want to serve the Lord, and we want, we want everlasting life. We want to be righteous. We want to receive that penny that the Lord talk about, if I'm not mistaken, in the book of Matthew, which is referring to the kingdom of heaven. We want to receive that. And it comes with labor. It comes with you working, right? You ain't gonna receive that if you been doing anything, right? You do your videos, you pray, you fast, you go out on the highways and hedges, and you bid as many as you could find to the marriage, right? So this is what we have to do in this ministry. As it is written, you make full proof of your ministry. You use everything that the Lord gave you to use. You use all your talents. You understand? Because we sincerely want to make it. All right? So from there, let me go in the book of Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 51, and verse 30. Work your work betimes, and in His time He will give you your reward. Right? And again, the work is doing the work of the Lord. You're doing your videos, right? You're preaching, you're rebuking, you're using this word for correction and instruction and righteousness. As it says in, I believe it's the book of, I'm not too sure if it's 1 Timothy or 2 Timothy, but I know for sure it's in one of those Timothy, right? As a matter of fact, let me go to it. Bear with me, that's looking a little too fast, right? This is 2 Timothy chapter 3. It's in verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. And that's what we use the word for, right? It's to reproof, It's profitable for doctrine, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. Right? 17th verse, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, truly furnished unto all good works. Because this word and this gospel, it updates you in the spirit. Right? It sharpens you. You understand? And the scripture says, rebuke a wise man and he will love thee, but if you rebuke a fool, he will hate thee. So once you might be doing something and you be rebuked for it, you are going to become even more wiser. You are going to be furnished even more in the spirit, right? And that's what this word does, which is why we have to keep it at all times and not let go, right? Because that is how we are going to be crowned, and that is how you're going to receive immortality and salvation, right? It's going to be through this word. Okay? That's the importance of this work, right? Having this word and putting it to use. You don't want to be that unprofitable servant that hasn't labored, for his master, which is Yahweh Shai. You have to put your work to use and not give a damn what nobody think, right? We have to do these things. So from there, I'm going to go in the book of 2nd Ezra. Chapter 7, and I'll start at verse 6. There is also another thing, a city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. And one only part between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. That's right, one man alone could go there at once, because you have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Nobody cannot work it out for you. You by yourself on that path have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. The 9th verse, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive the inheritance? That's right. So if you go through what you had to go through, all the trials and tribulations and temptations that you have to endure, right, being in this truth, while still holding on to the Lord, holding on to the 100% truth with faith and fear, how are you going to receive those good things that are laid up if you don't go through these things and still keep your integrity, right? And the good things is what? The immortality, the new bodies, rulership, right? Glory, honor, all the dishonor and disrespect and rejection you get on this side, what you're going to receive from the Lord is going to far surpass that, right? So you have to go through what you have to go through now so the Lord could bless you up, right? You're going to be blessed.